Blood in the snow. The healer's lonely mountain. Elena pressed her fingers against the frosted window, watching the snow fall like tiny white ghosts in the darkness. 3 years had passed since she'd climbed this mountain and built her small cabin from fallen timber and determination. 3 years since she'd turned her back on pack life forever. The fire crackled behind her, the only sound in the crushing silence. She missed voices sometimes, missed laughter, missed belonging to something bigger than herself. But that life was gone. Torn away, the night rogues attacked her pack and killed everyone she loved. Her parents, her younger brother, her best friend. All gone in blood and fire while she hid in the root cellar like a coward. She turned from the window and stirred the pot of soup hanging over the flames. Thin broth with wild onions and dried venison. It would keep her alive another day, which was all she asked for now. Survival. Nothing more. Elena had been training to be her pack's healer before the attack. Her mother had taught her everything about herbs and medicines, about setting bones and treating fevers. Those skills kept her going now. Travelers sometimes found their way to her cabin, lost or injured, and she helped them. They paid with food or supplies, never money. She had no use for coins up here. Her wolf stirred restlessly inside her. 3 years without shifting, without running with a pack, without the comfort of other wolves. It was slowly killing her. Wolves weren't meant to be alone. But she couldn't go back. Couldn't trust another pack after what happened. The rogues had gotten inside somehow, past their defenses, past their guards. Someone had helped them. Someone she'd trusted had betrayed them all. A trail of blood. The next morning brought fresh snow and an eerie stillness. Elena pulled on her thick coat and boots, grabbed her gathering basket, and headed into the forest. She needed to check her snares and collect pine bark for medicine. The forest was beautiful in its winter silence. Snow clung to evergreen branches like cotton. Her breath misted in the cold air. For a moment, she felt almost peaceful. Then she smelled it. Blood. Fresh blood. Her wolf surged forward, alert and aggressive. Elena's hand went to the knife at her belt. Blood meant danger. Could be a wounded animal, could be something worse. She followed the scent, moving carefully through the trees. The blood trail was obvious now. Dark drops staining the pristine snow. Too much blood. Whatever bled here was dying. Then she saw him. A man collapsed against a massive oak tree, half buried in snow. Blood soaked his torn shirt and pants. His skin was deathly pale, lips blue from cold. Dark hair fell across his face, and even unconscious, he looked dangerous. Powerful. His clothes were good quality but shredded. Claw marks, bite wounds, and something else. The sickly sweet smell of poison. Elena's first instinct was to run. Strange men in her forest meant trouble. But her healer's oath pulled at her. She'd sworn to help the injured, no matter who they were. She knelt beside him, checking his pulse. Weak. Too weak. He was dying. Stupid, she muttered. This is so stupid. But she couldn't leave him. She'd been left to die once, hiding in that cellar while her family burned. She wouldn't do that to someone else, even a stranger. The impossible task. Elena grabbed him under the arms and pulled. He was massive and heavy as stone. Her back screamed in protest. Her arms shook, but she kept pulling, inch by terrible inch through the snow. Took forever. By the time she dragged him up the steps of her cabin, sweat soaked her clothes despite the freezing air. She hauled him inside and kicked the door shut. In the firelight, she could see him better. He was perhaps 30, with sharp features and old scars crossing his muscular arms. A warrior, and something else. Power radiated from him even unconscious. This was no ordinary wolf. This was an alpha. What have I gotten myself into? She whispered. No time to worry about it now. She cut away his ruined clothes and assessed the damage. Deep claw marks across his ribs. Bite wounds on his shoulder and thigh. All infected. All poisoned with something dark and oily that made her wolf recoil. Wolfsbane, silver dust, and something else she didn't recognize. A mixture designed to kill even the strongest alpha. Elena worked through the night, She cleaned the wounds with blessed water, packed them with healing herbs, and used a poultice of activated charcoal to draw out the poison. Every hour, she checked his temperature and pulse. Every hour, he grew weaker. Dawn came gray and cold. The stranger's breathing was shallow, his heartbeat irregular. He was losing the fight. "Don't you dare die," Elena told him fiercely. "I didn't drag you through a blizzard just to watch you give up. You fight. Do you hear me? You fight." As if in response, his hand twitched. His eyes moved behind closed lids. He was still in there, still struggling. Watching eyes. On the second day, Elena noticed them. Wolves in the forest. 6 of them, massive and dark, sitting in a circle around her cabin. They didn't approach, didn't threaten, just watched with golden eyes that reflected the firelight at night. His pack, she realized. They'd followed him here. They were waiting to see if their alpha would live or die. It made her job harder. She couldn't leave the cabin to gather more herbs or check her snares. The wolves might see her as a threat. So she rationed what she had and prayed it would be enough. The stranger's fever broke on the 3rd night. Elena sagged with relief, barely able to stay awake. She'd been up for nearly 72 hours straight, monitoring him constantly. She dozed off in the chair beside his makeshift bed, her hand resting on his wrist to feel his pulse. The golden eyes. She woke to voices, deep male voices speaking in low tones just outside her cabin. Elena jerked awake, reaching for her knife. The stranger's eyes were open, gold eyes, bright, burning gold that seemed to see right through her. He was watching her with an intensity that made her breath catch. "You," he said, his voice rough and deep. "You saved me." "Don't talk," Elena said, trying to sound professional. "You're still weak." "The poison." "I know what the poison was." He tried to sit up and fell back with a curse. "How long?" 3 days. "You were dying. You still might die if you're not careful." 3 days. His golden eyes studied her face. "You kept me alive for 3 days. Alone. I'm a healer. It's what I do." "Why?" The simple question caught her off guard. "What? Why save me? I'm a stranger. A rogue by the smell of me. You had no reason to help." Elena looked away. "I had my reasons." "Your pack?" he asked softly. "Dead. Rogues killed them 3 years ago." Silence fell between them. When she looked back, something had shifted in those golden eyes. Understanding. Recognition of shared pain. "I'm Kale," he said finally.
Elena. Elena.
He said her name like he was tasting it. "Thank you for not leaving me to die in the snow. Rest now. Your pack is outside, waiting. There. I know. They won't leave until I tell them to." He caught her hand, his grip surprisingly strong. "But first, I need to tell you something. Something important." "What?" "The rogues who killed your pack. They weren't just random killers. They were sent. Hired by someone powerful to destroy packs that wouldn't submit to a new order." Elena's heart stopped. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about a conspiracy. A plot to control all the packs in this region. And I'm talking about revenge." His golden eyes burned into hers. "I've been hunting the ones responsible for 5 years. They destroyed my kingdom, murdered my family, made me into a rogue." "You're not just any alpha," she whispered.
No.
"I was Alpha King of the Northern Territories, until I was betrayed by my own council and forced to run or die." He squeezed her hand. "You saved my life, Elena. Now let me help you. Let me help you find justice for your pack. I don't want revenge. I want to be left alone. Do you? Or are you just afraid to face what happened?" The words hit too close to home. Elena pulled her hand free. "You need to rest."
Elena.
"Rest. We'll talk when you're stronger." But she knew they would talk. Knew that something had changed in those 3 days. This stranger with golden eyes had brought her past back to the surface. And maybe, just maybe, it was time to stop hiding on this mountain. The pack appears. Kale healed fast. By the end of the week, he could stand and walk, though he tired easily. His pack entered the cabin one by one, 7 massive wolves who shifted into equally massive men and women. They treated Elena with careful respect, calling her the healer and thanking her for saving their alpha. "We've been searching for Kale for days," said Marcus, his second in command. The attack came out of nowhere. 10 trained assassins with silver weapons and poison. We fought them off, but Kale was already wounded. He shifted and ran. We tracked him here. "Who sent the assassins?" Elena asked. "The same person who's been hunting us for years," Kale said. He was sitting by the fire, shirtless, as Elena changed the bandages on his ribs. The wounds were healing now, turning to pink scars. "His name is Darius. He was on my council. He orchestrated my downfall and took my kingdom. Now he's expanding, taking over other territories. And killing any pack that resists," added Sarah, a fierce female warrior with short black hair. "We've been warning packs, trying to build resistance. But Darius is powerful. He has money, soldiers, and no conscience." Elena's hands stilled on the bandage. "My pack. Did he?" "Yes," Kale said gently.
I'm sorry.
"Your pack refused to submit to his authority. So he sent rogues to make an example of them." Rage bloomed in Elena's chest, hot and terrible. For 3 years she'd blamed herself. Blamed random rogues. Blamed fate. But there was a name now. Person responsible. Darius. "Where is he?" she asked, her voice shaking. "His stronghold is 2 weeks south. But Elena, he's too powerful. Too protected. Going after him without a plan would be suicide. Then we make a plan." She looked around at the rogue pack. "You're hunting him anyway. Let me help." "You're a healer, not a warrior," Marcus said, not unkindly. "Then teach me. Train me." She looked at Kale. "You offered to help me find justice."
I'm accepting.
Something flashed in Kale's golden eyes.
Pride.
Approval. And something else. Something that made her wolf stir for the first time in 3 years. "It will be dangerous," he warned. "I don't care. You could die. I've been dead inside for 3 years. At least this way, I'll die doing something that matters." Kale stood, crossing to her. He was tall, towering over her, but his touch was gentle as he lifted her chin. "Then we do this together. My pack is yours now. And Elena." "Yes. Thank you for giving me a reason to keep fighting. I was starting to lose hope, but saving your life reminded me why this matters. Why we can't let Darius win." Elena felt tears sting her eyes. "You saved me too. I was just existing up here, waiting to die. Now I have a purpose again." "Then it's settled," Sarah said with a fierce grin. "We've got ourselves a healer who wants to learn to fight. This should be interesting." The pack laughed, the sound warm and welcoming. Elena felt something unlock in her chest. Something that had been frozen since the night she lost everything. Maybe she'd found a new pack. Maybe she'd found a purpose. And maybe, just maybe, she'd found something else too. Something in the way Kale looked at her with those burning golden eyes. But that was a thought for another day. For now, she had training to start, justice to plan, and a rogue alpha to heal completely before they began their dangerous journey. The snow continued to fall outside, blanketing the mountain in white. But inside the cabin, surrounded by her new pack, Elena finally felt warm again. Shadows of vengeance. The Alpha King's fall. 2 weeks had passed since Elena agreed to join Kale's quest for justice. 2 weeks of intense training that left her muscles aching and her pride bruised. But she was getting stronger, faster, more confident. Tonight, Kale had called her to his room. The cabin had become crowded with his pack, so they'd expanded into the nearby caves, creating a hidden camp. His quarters were simple but comfortable, lit by oil lamps that cast dancing shadows on the stone walls. "Sit," he said, gesturing to a chair by the small fire. "We need to talk. Really talk." Elena sat, watching him pace. He'd fully recovered now, moving with the deadly grace of a predator. He wore his hair tied back, revealing the strong lines of his face and those mesmerizing golden eyes. "You've been training hard," he began. learning fast. But before we go further, you need to know the full truth. About who I was, what I lost, and what we're really up against.
I'm listening.
Kale stopped pacing and faced her. 5 years ago, I ruled the largest pack territory in the north. 10,000 wolves across 50 packs, all united under my leadership. We had peace, prosperity. I had a wife, a son, and a council I trusted with my life. Elena's heart clenched. Had. One night, my council came to me with reports of rogue activity. They suggested I personally investigate with a small group. I should have suspected something. Should have seen the trap. His jaw tightened. We were ambushed. 20 of my best warriors died protecting me. When I finally fought my way back to the castle, it was burning. My wife and son were already dead. Poisoned by someone they trusted. Kale, Elena whispered, standing. I'm so sorry. Darius was waiting for me in the throne room. He had half my council with him, all traitors. They gave me a choice. Submit to him as the new Alpha King or die. I chose to fight. He touched a long scar across his chest. I barely escaped with my life. Marcus and Sarah and a few others helped me flee. We've been rogues ever since. Hunted. Homeless. Watching as Darius took everything I built and twisted it into something dark. Elena stepped closer, her hand finding his. That's why you hunt him. Not just for revenge. Not just for revenge, he agreed. For justice. For all the packs he's destroyed. For all the innocent wolves he's killed to maintain his power. His golden eyes met hers. Your pack was just one of many, Elena. Darius has destroyed at least 15 packs in 5 years. Hundreds of wolves dead because they wouldn't submit. The number staggered her. 15 packs. That we know of. There could be more. Kale's hand tightened on hers. That's why I need you to understand what we're facing. Darius isn't just a tyrant. He's a monster. And stopping him might cost us everything. Then we make sure it costs him more, Elena said fiercely. Something shifted in Kale's expression. Admiration mixed with something deeper. Something that made her wolf surge forward with recognition. You're remarkable, he said softly. When I woke up in your cabin, dying from poison, I thought I'd finally lost. That this was how it ended. But then you fought to save me. A woman who had every reason to hate rogues, to let me die, and you fought for me anyway. I couldn't let you die. Why not? Give me the real reason. Elena's breath caught, because even then, barely conscious, she'd felt something. A pull toward this stranger. A connection that defied logic. I don't know, she whispered. Something told me you were important. That saving you mattered. Kale stepped closer, his free hand coming up to cup her cheek. Do you know what a mate bond is? Her heart stuttered. Yes, the legends say some wolves are destined for each other. That they recognize their perfect match instantly. It's not a legend. It's real. His thumb brushed her cheekbone. And from the moment I opened my eyes and saw you, my wolf knew. You're mine, Elena. My true mate. The one I've been searching for without even knowing it. That's impossible. We just met. We barely know each other. The bond doesn't care about time. Cares about souls. He leaned closer, his voice dropping to a rough whisper. Tell me you don't feel it. The pull between us. The way your wolf responds to mine. She couldn't, because she did feel it. Had felt it growing stronger every day. The way her heart raced when he entered a room. The way she sought him out without thinking. The way her wolf pushed forward whenever he was near, wanting to be closer. I feel it, she admitted. But Kale, I'm terrified. I lost everyone I loved. My whole family. I can't go through that again. You won't. I swear it. He rested his forehead against hers. I will protect you with my last breath. But I won't force this bond on you. If you need time, I'll wait. If you decide you don't want me, I'll accept it. But know this, you're mine and I'm yours, whether we act on it or not. Elena closed her eyes, breathing in his scent. Pine and smoke and something uniquely him. Her wolf was crying out, demanding she accept this bond. Accept him. I need time, she whispered, to process this, to understand what it means. Then take all the time you need. He pressed a gentle kiss to her forehead and stepped back. But while you're thinking, let me continue your training. Let me show you that I'm worthy of you. Training and trust. The training intensified. Every morning before dawn, Elena met Kale in the clearing behind the caves. He taught her hand-to-hand combat, showing her how to use her smaller size as an advantage, how to strike fast and hard, how to use an opponent's strength against them. You'll never be the strongest fighter, he told her, circling her with predatory grace. But you can be the smartest, the fastest, the most unpredictable. He lunged and Elena dodged, sweeping her leg out to trip him. Kale rolled, coming up in a crouch with a proud grin. Good. Again. They sparred for hours. Elena learned to read his movements, to anticipate his strikes. She learned to trust her instincts, to let her wolf guide her reflexes. Sarah joined them often, teaching Elena knife work and battlefield medicine. You're a healer, Sarah explained. That's your greatest weapon. You can keep our fighters alive. But you also need to know how to protect yourself when you're vulnerable. Marcus taught her tracking and stealth, how to move silently through the forest, how to read signs and follow trails, how to disappear when needed. The whole pack adopted her, teaching her their skills, sharing their stories. They'd all lost something to Darius. They were all fighting for justice, for revenge, for the chance to stop him before he destroyed more lives. Elena found herself healing not just from her past trauma, but from the loneliness. She had a family again, purpose, and slowly she was becoming a warrior. One evening, after a particularly brutal training session, Elena sat by the fire cleaning her weapons. Kale joined her, 2 bowls of stew in hand. You're doing well, he said, handing her a bowl. Better than I expected. High praise from the Alpha King, she teased. Former Alpha King. Now just a rogue with a dangerous mission. You're more than that. Elena met his gaze. Your pack loves you. They follow you not out of obligation, but because they believe in you. That's true leadership. Kale was quiet for a moment. I failed them once, when Darius took my kingdom. Sometimes I wonder if I deserve their loyalty. You didn't fail them. You were betrayed. There's a difference. Is there? I should have seen it coming. Should have protected my family. Elena set down her bowl and took his hand. You can't blame yourself for other people's evil choices. Darius is responsible for what happened. Not you. Do you believe that about yourself? About your pack? The question hit hard. Elena looked away. I'm trying to. Then we'll work on it together. Kale squeezed her hand. Healing isn't just physical, Elena. It's mental too. We both have scars that need to heal. She leaned her head on his shoulder, and he wrapped an arm around her. They sat like that, watching the fire, finding comfort in each other's presence. The mate bond hummed between them, patient but persistent. The first strike. 3 months after Elena joined the pack, they were ready. Kale had located one of Darius's key supporters, Lord Brennan, a corrupt alpha who controlled a major trade route. Brennan provided Darius with money and resources, enabling his expansion. We take him down, we hurt Darius's supply lines, Marcus explained, pointing to a map. Force him to react, maybe make a mistake. Elena studied the map. Brennan's estate was heavily guarded, but there was a weak point, the healer's entrance. Servants and healers came and went freely, barely checked by guards. I can get in as a healer, Elena suggested. Offer my services. Once inside, I can unlock the side gate for the rest of you. Kale immediately shook his head. Too dangerous. If they discover you, they won't. I'm good at playing the part. I was a healer for years, remember? She's right, Sarah said. We need someone on the inside, and Elena can handle herself now. Kale looked at Elena, conflict clear in his golden eyes. The mate bond made him protective, made the thought of her in danger physically painful. I can do this, Elena said softly. Trust me. Finally, he nodded. But you take this. He handed her a small silver pendant. It's enchanted. If you're in trouble, squeeze it 3 times. We'll know. The night of the mission, Elena dressed in simple healer's robes and approached Brennan's estate. Her heart pounded, but her hands were steady. The guard at the healer's entrance barely glanced at her. Name?
Elena.
I heard Lord Brennan needed a skilled healer. I'm offering my services. Wait here. 10 minutes later, she was inside. The head healer, an older woman named Ruth, welcomed her warmly. We're short-staffed. The Lord's son is ill with fever. Can you help? Of course. Elena spent 2 hours genuinely treating the sick boy, using her real skills. It wasn't his fault his father was corrupt. As she worked, she memorized the layout, noting guard positions and patrol patterns. At midnight, she slipped through the corridors to the side gate. Her heart raced as she lifted the bar and pushed it open. Cale was there immediately, pulling her close. You're okay.
I'm fine.
The guards change in 10 minutes. That's our window. The pack moved like shadows, silent and deadly. They reached Brennan's study without raising an alarm. Cale kicked the door open. Lord Brennan looked up from his desk, shock flashing across his face. Who? Hello, Brennan, Cale said, his voice cold. Remember me? Recognition dawned, followed by fear. Brennan reached for a weapon, but Marcus was faster, pinning him to the desk. You've been funding Darius, Cale continued, helping him destroy innocent packs. That ends tonight. You can't stop him, Brennan spat. Darius is too powerful. He'll crush you like insects. Maybe. But first, you're going to tell us everything you know about his plans. What followed was an interrogation that revealed disturbing information. Darius wasn't just taking over territories. He was building an army, planning something big, something that would happen in 6 months at the gathering of all northern packs. He's going to kill them all, Brennan finally admitted. Every alpha who won't submit. It'll be a massacre. Elena felt sick. Hundreds of wolves would die. Where? Cale demanded. The sacred grounds. He's rigged the whole place with explosives. Silver dust in the air. It'll be a slaughter. They left Brennan tied up for his own pack to find, along with evidence of his corruption. As they fled into the night, Elena's mind raced. 6 months, she said as they ran. We have 6 months to stop him. It's not enough time, Marcus said grimly. Then we make it enough, Cale replied. We warn every pack we can, build an alliance, and we take the fight to Darius before he can execute his plan. Love in the darkness. Back at camp, the adrenaline faded, leaving Elena shaking. She'd been in real danger tonight, had looked evil in the face and survived. But the magnitude of what they'd learned was crushing. She found herself at the entrance to Cale's quarters, knocking softly. Come in. He was sitting on his bed, head in his hands. He looked up as she entered, and she saw the fear in his eyes. When you were in there, he said roughly. When I couldn't see you, couldn't protect you, I nearly lost my mind. The mate bond was screaming at me to get to you. Elena crossed to him, standing between his knees. I was scared too, but I knew you were close. That helped. He wrapped his arms around her waist, pressing his face to her stomach. I can't lose you. Not now. Not when I've just found you. You won't lose me. She threaded her fingers through his hair. I'm not going anywhere. Cale looked up, his golden eyes burning with intensity. Elena, I need to know. Is there a chance for us? Can you accept this bond? Accept me? She'd been thinking about it for months, fighting it, fearing it. But tonight had shown her the truth. Life was short and uncertain. Love was rare and precious, and she was tired of being afraid. Yes, she whispered. I accept the bond. I accept you. The effect was immediate. The mate bond snapped into place fully, connecting them on a level deeper than physical. Elena gasped as emotions flooded through her. Cale's love, his fierce protectiveness, his joy at her acceptance. Mine, he growled, standing and pulling her close. Yours, she agreed. And you're mine. He kissed her then, deeply and thoroughly, pouring 5 years of loneliness and longing into it. Elena kissed him back with equal passion, her wolf singing with joy. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Cale rested his forehead against hers. I love you, he said simply. I've loved you since you dragged me out of the snow, since you fought to save a dying stranger. I love you too, Elena whispered. I didn't want to. I tried not to. But you made it impossible. He laughed, the sound rich and warm. We're quite a pair, a rogue king and a hermit healer. We're perfect, she corrected. Together, we're perfect. That night, they sealed the mate bond completely, losing themselves in each other. And for the first time in years, both of them felt whole. But outside, in the darkness, danger gathered. Because someone had seen them at Brennan's estate. Someone had recognized Cale. And that someone was already riding hard toward Darius's stronghold with news that the lost Alpha King had returned. The real battle was about to begin. The spy among them. Morning brought a harsh reality check. Marcus burst into Cale's quarters without knocking, his face grim. We have a problem. Brennan's dead. Killed last night after we left. Cale sat up, instantly alert. How? Poison in his water. Same poison used on you. Someone didn't want him talking further. Elena felt cold dread settle in her stomach. Darius's reach is longer than we thought. There's more, Sarah said, appearing behind Marcus. 3 packs we contacted last month. The ones who agreed to meet with us? They've all been attacked. Destroyed. Every alpha dead. Someone's feeding Darius information, Cale said grimly. Someone knows our movements. The pack gathered in the main cave, tension thick in the air. Everyone looked at each other with suspicion. They'd been together for years, had fought side by side, bled together. But one of them was a traitor. We need to find them, Marcus said, before they can do more damage. Or before they lead Darius right to us, Sarah added. Cale stood, his alpha authority filling the space. No one leaves camp without my permission. No one communicates with the outside. We lock this down until we find the spy. But Elena saw the pain in his eyes. He'd been betrayed before by people he trusted. Now it was happening again. She took his hand, squeezing gently. Together they'd find the traitor. Together they'd stop Darius. And together, they'd make sure no more innocent packs suffered. The war had begun. And this time they weren't running. This time they were fighting back. Fire and forever. The hunt for truth. The camp felt different now. Where there had been trust and camaraderie, suspicion poisoned the air. Wolves who had fought together for years now watched each other with careful eyes. Elena hated it. Hated what the spy had done to their family. Cale spent days questioning everyone, searching their belongings, looking for any sign of betrayal. But the traitor was clever. Too clever. Whoever it is has been with us a long time, Marcus said during a private council with Cale, Elena, and Sarah. They know how we operate, how we think. It has to be someone we trust completely, Sarah added bitterly. Someone who has access to all our plans. Elena studied the map spread before them, marked with all their safe houses, contact points, and allied packs. Then something clicked in her mind. The attacks on the 3 packs, she said slowly. When exactly did they happen? Marcus consulted his notes. 2 weeks after we contacted them. Why? And Brennan's murder? How long after our raid? Same night. Hours after we left. Elena's heart sank as the pieces fell into place. Only 5 people knew we were raiding Brennan that night. The 4 of us and Owen. Cale finished, his voice hollow. Owen had been with Cale since the beginning. Had helped him escape the castle 5 years ago. Had fought beside him in dozens of battles. He was like a brother. We don't know for certain, Marcus said, but doubt clouded his eyes. There's one way to find out, Elena said. We feed him false information. See if Darius acts on it. They crafted their trap carefully. In Owen's hearing, Kale announced they'd be moving to a new camp in 3 days, deep in the eastern mountains. He gave specific coordinates, made it seem urgent and secretive. Then they waited. 2 nights later, Elena was on watch when she saw him. Owen, slipping through the forest in wolf form, heading south, toward Darius's territory. Her heart broke even as rage burned through her. She squeezed the silver pendant Kale had given her. Within minutes, Kale and Marcus appeared. Follow him, Kale ordered Marcus. But don't engage. I want to know where he goes, who he meets. Marcus shifted and disappeared into the shadows. Kale stood beside Elena, his jaw clenched so tight she could see the muscle jumping. I'm sorry, she whispered. 5 years, he said roughly. 5 years he's been with me. How long has he been betraying me? Maybe not the whole time. Maybe Darius got to him recently. Does it matter? Kale's golden eyes blazed with pain and fury. He sold out our allies, got innocent wolves killed. He's the reason those 3 packs were destroyed. Elena had no comfort to offer. She simply took his hand and held on. Marcus returned at dawn with grim news. He met with Darius's second-in-command, gave him our location. They're planning to attack at sunrise tomorrow with a force of 50 soldiers. Good, Kale said coldly. Let them come. We'll be ready. The gathering storm. They had 24 hours to prepare. Kale sent runners to every allied pack within reach, calling for help. He fortified their position, setting traps and preparing defensive positions. And he made a hard decision. We let Owen come back, he told his council. We act like nothing's wrong. When Darius's forces arrive, Owen will be expecting us to be caught off guard. Instead, he'll be the one surprised. It was the longest day of Elena's life. Owen returned that afternoon, acting casual, reporting his scouting mission found nothing unusual. Elena wanted to claw his lying face. Instead, she smiled and offered him food. That night, Kale gathered his pack. 20 loyal wolves against 50 of Darius's trained soldiers. The odds weren't good. Some of you won't survive tomorrow, Kale said bluntly. I won't lie about that. But we fight anyway, because if we don't stop Darius here, he'll slaughter hundreds of wolves at the sacred grounds in 6 months. We fight for them, for all the innocent packs that don't deserve to be caught in this war. We fight for you, Sarah said fiercely. Our true alpha king. The others howled agreement, their loyalty absolute despite the coming battle. Elena found Kale on the ridge overlooking their camp. He stood alone, the weight of leadership heavy on his shoulders. Can't sleep? She asked softly.